Welcome to the Askiy community-based climate and environment monitoring engagements happening in January and February of 2023. Askiy is the Métis Nation of Alberta's community-based monitoring initiative led by the Department of Environment and Climate Change. In Cree, Askiy means earth. The design of Askiy is based on feedback from Métis citizens during engagements held across the province in 2018. During these engagements, Métis citizens envisioned what a Métis-led environment and climate monitoring program would look like and what it would focus on. The first question in our 2018 engagements asked about the core values of a Métis-led environment and climate monitoring program. We heard from Métis citizens that they wanted a community-driven program that sought to ensure the transfer and protection of traditional knowledge, the involvement of youth, and the establishment of partnerships. Other key comments included not duplicating efforts and using existing monitoring data when possible to address concerns. Our second question from the 2018 engagements asked about the environmental and climate concerns of Métis citizens. We heard that the biggest concerns are those related to water quality and decline in wildlife, fish, and traditional plants. When looking at what existing monitoring data there is, it was determined that concerns related to decline in traditional plants had almost no existing monitoring work being done, suggesting this would be a good starting point for Askiy.
Based on the 2018 engagements, several programs have been launched. Our current projects and activities are as follows: fish sampling and contaminant testing, fish health community monitoring program, fish health interviews with knowledge holders, berry health monitoring, and traditional plant walks. Our current programs also include Migratory Bird Harvesting Survey, Native Bee Conservation Program, Askiy Advisory Committee, contests, and other Métis citizen response surveys. Let's dive into our current projects and activities. In March 2020, the Askiy Advisory Committee was formed to provide guidance, feedback, and advice on Askiy projects and activities. The committee is comprised of 6 Métis community members, 1 youth representative, and 1 elder. The committee meets with the Métis Nation of Alberta Environment Department regularly throughout the year. The Migratory Bird Harvesting Survey gathers information about the number and species of waterfowl and game birds harvested by Métis citizens each year. This data is shared with Canadian Wildlife Service, who sets harvesting limits on non-Indigenous harvesters. We protect what we know. By improving MNA's understanding of where and how Métis citizens exercise their rights, the MNA is better prepared to advocate for their protection. Métis citizens shared their concerns related to fish health and abundancy, mentioning increased difficulties when fishing. To address these concerns, our fish health monitoring project was launched in 2021. The environment team and a group of knowledgeable harvesters visit lakes around the province and conduct fish monitoring while ice fishing using traditional methods. Captured fish are measured and assessed for general health. After the assessment, harvesters can take the fish home to eat with their families and then report back on the palatability and internal health of the fish. In 2022, the monitoring work was expanded to include toxicology testing, which can provide advice on the safety of consuming fish caught from targeted lakes.
In 2021, the environment team launched 3 Askiy Guardian feedback forms about fishing. The first allows Métis citizens to report back on their overall fishing experience. The second asks about fish health and measurements. The third gathers palatability information. The information that is shared helps us identify any water bodies or fish species that Métis citizens may be concerned about. By understanding what Métis citizens are worried about, we can tailor our fish monitoring program to target their concerns. The environment team completed 19 interviews with Métis knowledge holders at the end of 2022 to explore the connection between Métis people and fishing, as well as understand how Métis people determine fish health. Based on what we learned during these interviews, a fish health assessment tool will be created and shared with other Métis citizens to use when they are out fishing.
During the 2018 engagements, Métis citizens expressed concerns about the impact of environment and climate change to the health and abundance of traditional plants. In 2020, the Berry Health Monitoring Project was launched to address these concerns. Monitoring locations and target species were selected based on community guidance. Throughout the summer, the environment team travels around Alberta to assess the health and productivity of Saskatoons, raspberries, blueberries, and chokecherries. Our goal is to compare the data we collect to provincial climate data to identify which plant species are being affected by droughts, late spring freezes, heat waves, and other environmental impacts. Beginning the summer of 2023, Askiy Guardians will be able to contribute to this project by sharing how their berry harvesting has gone, as well as their observations of berry health and abundance. 2021, the Department of Environment and Climate Change hosted traditional plant walks to provide Métis citizens with an opportunity to learn about harvestable plants from a Métis knowledge holder with other community members. Through these events, we have reached 172 community members, including youth, adults, and elders. Learning together is an essential part of ensuring that traditional knowledge is passed from one generation to the next.
In 2021, we learned about what Métis citizens identify as major threats to caribou populations. To address the concern about chronic wasting disease, the environment team joined an advisory committee for the development of a CWD vaccine and continues to advocate for the important connection between Métis people and caribou. During engagements in 2021, we heard that Métis citizens are concerned about the spread of CWD across the province. Métis citizens also shared some barriers to participate in the Alberta Chronic Wasting Disease Testing Program. Some of the barriers mentioned were general unawareness of the CWD problem and an unawareness of the provincial testing program. To help alleviate some of these barriers, the MNA Environment team began sharing information regarding CWD and the testing program on the MNA website as well as on MNA social media.
In 2022, the Native Bee Conservation Program was launched to address the decline in native bee populations. The environment team created conservation kits and provided them to Métis citizens to put in their yards. The kits consisted of a bee nesting box to provide a safe shelter for native bees to lay their eggs, Alberta wildflower seeds to create additional food sources, and educational resources developed by the Edmonton Area Land Trust. Over the years, Askiy has launched online surveys to engage with Métis citizens and hear their concerns, as well as learn about their traditional practices and how these have changed over the years. Survey topics have included fish health, traditional plant health, wildlife harvesting surveys, and others. The Environment team shares information about environmental issues through social media. So far, themes have included enjoying the outdoors responsibly, sustainability, and you, the International Day of Food Loss and Waste Reduction.
MNA Environment team has conducted 2 contests. The first contest launched in November 2022 and asked citizens to design a coin based on the theme Métis People's Connection to the Land. Submitted designs will be judged by the Askiy committee. The winning design will be used to create a commemorative coin. The second contest launched in December 2022 and asked MNA youth aged 18 to 29 to submit a short essay on what it would mean to them to spend a week learning about fish health monitoring from the environment team and MNA harvesters. Now that it has been several years since the previous engagements about Askiy, we wanted to come back to the community to speak with Métis citizens about the initiative. The environment team is hoping to get feedback on a few topics. First, we want to know your thoughts on the existing projects and activities that fall under Askiy. Second, we want to hear about any environmental changes you have experienced or noticed. Third, we want to hear about your concerns regarding the environment. Lastly, we want your thoughts on how these experiences of environmental change and concerns can shape Askiy moving forward. Thank you for participating in the 2023 Askiy re-engagements.